Hey everyone, it is Chris from Knife Level Games here on Life Action Roleplay. We are continuing. We're going to play another game with these fine folks back in with mazes with our lovable rogues, Loudness, Rimble, and Bella Bark. The
Bonk!
Bonk.
Bella Bark's a completely different character.
Totally different character.
She has an accent.
It has been a few weeks, so the good thing is one of the things great about mazes is that it doesn't take a whole lot to when each game is its own unique piece. So we're going to pick up with these characters at a different time. We're going to do different thing. The players don't know what we're going to do. We have some, it'll be exciting. As of right now, and today is June 1st. June 1st, is that real? June 1st. Mm-hmm. It is. We just went live with our Return to Dark Tower Kickstarter, which is currently on Kickstarter. We funded in an hour, but you can check that out. And for Mazes aficionados, the hardcover book is literally in a truck, coming, going out to your hands soon, and it will be, unless the trucks get hijacked, it will be at Origins, which is next weekend. Before we get started, I'd like to go around and have my players introduce themselves and where we can find you on the internet. Michael.
Okay. I am Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is usually at Mr. Kapow, that's MRKAPAO, or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff, like my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure.
Ania?
Hi, I'm Anaya Monet. You can find me on TikTok at Babylon. That's BAEBALON. And then I'm also often on this channel, usually playing a very interesting Fae in our Fae Court series, in Ryan's Fae Court series. And you can also find me if you want to hear my voice all the time. I have a podcast called Seasons of Fun, which I will talk more about at the end of the show, but you can also find me on there.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yeah, I'll be the audience of one here. I'm Todd Stashwick. I'm an actor. I'm a writer. I'm a RPGer. You can watch me on 12 Monkeys on Hulu, or Live Action Kim Possible on the Disney Channel if you want. I have other stuff coming up that I can't talk about. If for RPG stuff, I'm doing this today. So if you're seeing this, you're in the right place. Also on the 16th, I'm doing I've been invited onto the Black Dice Society to play Van Richten in their Strahd campaign with some lovely role players. And that is on the 16th. What else? I got a video game coming out in October that I co-wrote called Forspoken. And I sell nerdy merch at thenerdcircus.com. One of the things that's a bestseller is I wrote a D&D inspired tiki cocktail book created with former Imagineer Brandon Cleely called Mystic Libations. So go to the
really
Nerd
fun.
Circus. Thanks. thenerdcircus.com, and glasses and dice boxes and t-shirts and all that kind of nonsense.
RPGs and cocktails is as if you were writing me a love letter.
Right? Exactly. I sampled your DNA and then it was crafted to it. But you can find me at Todd Stashwick on the Twitter, or at T Stashwick on the Insta.
Great. All right, let's get into this.
Where's my woohoo, Ania?
Woohoo!
Thank you. Oh, stop it. Come on.
Woo!
Oh, come on.
All right. Today, Ania, you are going to be Loudness, Stronghold, a Filthy Urchin. Michael, you are Rimbolt the Cursor, a Goblin Witch. And Todd, you are Bella Bonk, the Nightblade Assassin. And if you remember, if the audience remembers, the last time you had been brought together by the Guild of Midnight and Silver to investigate some disappearances, and you'd gone down into a sewer, and you had found a cultist of some kind of strange elder thing, and it nearly died, but you did manage to overcome and rescue a number of people that were being kept, including Bella's sister. So right now, the three of you are in a long corridor. It is at least 100 feet long. And you are running as fast as you possibly can down this corridor. And behind you, the floor itself is breaking as giant appendages. I'd like to call them legs, but you're not even sure if they're legs or arms, but like the appendage of a spider, some kind of that are ripping out from the ground, and you are running at full speed to get away from this, and that's where we're going to pick things up. So, any questions before we get going?
Actually, I do. In our last adventure,
Yes.
One of the items that we got was the magic robe. What does the magic robe do?
I don't remember.
It magically covers. It's super absorbent.
Is it absorbent? Is it absorbent?
To the books.
Oh, is that what it was called? A robe of absorption?
No, I just say I just have magic robe, strange object. I'm just asking, is it absorbent?
Oh, it's definitely absorbent. You had I do remember you rolling for. See if this if I look here, if it will jog my memory a moment, because that's good TV. Good TV is one dude looking in a rule book, which is actually what most role-playing games feel like. If you haven't ever actually sat at the table and played one, the
I think our TA is reminding us what it was.
Could you roll D100 for me?
Okay. See if we can find something. Okay, I got a 14.
You burst into flames.
Again?
No. It is a robe of protection from fear.
Okay. Well, Grimble's wearing it under his bush like a diaper.
So it doesn't mean it's like wrapped around, like the arms are crisscrossed over the crotch, or
No, it's just like a giant like diaper.
Yeah, you like tie the arms. You tie the arms. You pull the bottom up around. You tie the arms around it, and then it folds over.
I mean, it makes sense if it is a robe of protection from fear, because what happens when you're really, really scared? And that's why I asked whether or not it's absorbent.
It isn't actually a robe of protection from fear. That's just how you're using it. That's narrative control. Narrative control of a magic item. But yeah, you are all at full speed running. So why doesn't everyone give me a boots roll?
do I get any advantage because being really fast is what I'm really good?
You absolutely have advantage because you are fast.
I roll twice.
You roll 2 dice.
Okay. I got a 2 and a 6.
Well, the 6. Are Our darkness is only at 1, so that 6 is actually a success.
Okay.
So you're good to go.
Bella got a
Grimble-
1.
I think running away from things is definitely something that a Nighthawk assassin should be able to do.
Should.
Should. So we
But
count
yet-
it as a success.
Okay.
And
Grimble is gonna kind of look back, sees the spider legs, goes, "Ah, why does it have to be giant spiders?" And I rolled a 1.
yeah, I don't know if running away is definitely something that Grimble's good at.
Oh,
It's
no.
definitely not something Grimble's used to doing. So we're gonna put Grimble loping behind, waddling as the creatures. And you're not the only person to ask the question of why is it whenever Chris is doing something, it's always giant spiders. I don't know. It's just always giant spiders. I mean, for this one, it's because we set up some spider things in the last one, so I'm just continuing on a theme as we're going. All right, what would you all like to do?
Is there
what is-
like any,
So please.
any end in sight, like any sort of light at the end of this tunnel?
You know what? There does seem to be some light at the end of this tunnel, like literally, like like I said, like 100 feet away or so. There seems to be some light coming from above.
Okay.
And you are running up at a slight incline.
Also,
And,
oh,
how
sorry,
far behind them are we? I mean, how far behind them are they?
The giant earth-rending appendages.
So the appendages are just destroying the earth behind us.
Yes.
So there's no turning back.
No. Turning back seems like a
It's a bad idea. Terribly bad idea.
Yeah. In fact, just being last in line right now seems like a terrible idea.
Thank God I'm not Grimble.
I also have a question. Are we running towards where we came from, or are we still like still going kind of forward?
That's a great question. Are you? And I'm going to ask you this question: are you running back the way you got here, or are you running, forward?
I'm going to say forward. I'm going to say forward towards an unknown opening, but because the way that we got here was destroyed by like disembodied spider legs.
Yeah, fair.
Because that's just better story.
Yeah. So behind you, you are continuing. You have not gone this way before. You don't know what is on the other side of that opening in the ceiling, but it definitely, there is light shining into this otherwise just this shaft of stone that's rising at like 15% increase. So not quite a rooftop.
How much does Grimble weigh?
Not that much.
As a goblin,
I
want to turn back and realize that my compadre is lacking in speed right now, and I want to pick her up and run with her.
Give me a bones roll.
I kind of want to say Grimble weighs about the same as a sack of potatoes.
Fair enough.
Looks like a sack of potatoes, carries like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
That's a 2.
You go to pick up Grimble, but Grimble's lack of regular clothing makes that difficult. And
ow! Like there's like prickers in the bush.
Yeah, you like rip some branches off of off the wearing bush. Like you grab, like you're gonna just do a thing, and you just like rip the branch right off.
Yeah. No, ah!
Let's say
But
Grimble's
you
gonna
look
go
down-
squawk.
clothing.
Bella's looking down the hallway, and what
Yeah.
you can see is in the darkness behind where all of the walls are collapsing into the earth. You see a beak-like maw, and
No.
inside the maw is a giant eyeball.
Okay, let's go.
Are they like? Are you guys like collapsed? Like, are you? Like, what's?
No,
are you
I
guys,
like. Wait, I went to grab her and then just grab sticks, and
Right.
so I tried to kind of do it all in motion. All I did was reduce the mass of her bush skirt, and then I'm like,
Grimble's still running.
Yeah.
Basically just runs right on by Bella. Bella is now at the back of the line, having turned around and stared into the darkness,
I'm
into the
staring
abyss.
into the eyeball beak with a couple sticks, and I just whip the sticks at the eyeball and turn tail and run.
Grimble's gonna look back and goes, "It's a fashion statement!"
I don't know what's going on behind me. I am activated. This is what I was born for. It was fear and running, so I'm gonna keep digging. Let's go.
Give me a boots roll.
Okay. I got a 4 and a 5.
You just tear up the you get that extra boost of energy, and at the end of the rise, you have you come, and it's the top is like above you is a large open square, and you can see the night sky above it, and the moons are hanging there, and there's this there's all the light that is coming in is just coming from the moons, but you feel the cold night air, and the only problem is it's like 10 feet up in the air at the end of this hallway, and you don't notice no stairs, no.
So it's just like a rock cavern, like it's just all empty but rocks.
Yeah, like if you think about it, it's like this a sloping passageway going this way, and at the top of it just comes to a wall, but there's like a big opening above it.
Okay.
I mean, the corridor you're in is obviously the work of humans, right? Like this is a constructed thing, and
So this exit is kind of like the collapsed section of the corridor that has a hole there, right?
No, the hole is part of the construction.
Oh, okay.
It's all supposed to be there.
Yeah. I look really, really sad. Like stop suddenly, dust tracks. And I look up and I'm processing it, and I'm really, really sad. And I'm like, you guys, no one's 10 feet tall. And I like look back and I see how far they are.
Right, they're nowhere near you. They're like 30 feet. They're like 30 feet behind you. And like you just see these chitinous black crab arms, right? Like that's even a better description. Like less spidery, more crabby.
But you do hear Grimbles. They have those flip flop feet. The plop, 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 plop.
I try. I'm like, you guys, I'm not 10 feet tall.
I'm gonna keep booking towards loudness.
I'm like gesturing.
Who built this?
What Grimble's gonna look up. Actually, I was wondering if we could use one of our wealth right now for rope.
Yeah.
Okay. Grimble's gonna pull out a length of rope and looks at Bella. Grimble asks Bella, throw Grimble, and points up.
So I again, we've adventured before.
Mhm.
We're a well-oiled machine. So I pick up what
Some
she's
amount of
putting down.
time has passed. We haven't figured that out yet, but some amount of time has passed since the last time, which was the first time y'all did something together. But something.
Well, clearly we don't have we don't have the people we rescued with us, so this isn't like moments later.
And also,
Uh,
Grimble and Bella are from the same guild.
This isn't the Last Jedi where we pick up 30 seconds after the end of the first episode, and to great effect. And then so I am going to use the momentum of my speed and to make not the same mistake again. I'm going to grab Grimble. Grimble, do you have hair?
No, but I was thinking they're kind of like a cat with the back of the
Okay,
neck. So
I scruff of the neck. I do a little mama cat grab, and I grab. I find your diaper underneath your bush. Wow, these are things I never thought I'd be saying today. Never thought I'd be saying these things. Nope, you know what? I'm gonna double down. I find your diaper under your bush, so mama cat scruff, butt diaper, and then I just heave.
Give me a bones roll, and because you just did this, I'm not going to make it at a disadvantage because you're the world is falling apart behind you.
I've adjusted.
You've adjusted.
Okay. So that's a 7.
That's it. That's a success. A Grimble hurls into the night and lands on the top. What appears on your first sight to be the top of a ziggurat in the middle of a barren plain. And the ziggurat around it, there are like 4 obelisks, giant obelisks. You would guess that you are, 200 feet up in the air.
Okay. When Grimble was sailing through the air, Grimble just squawks, "Grimble believes he can fly! Grimble fly!" Is there anything that Grimble could use to tie the end of the rope that they're holding to?
This is like the hole is in the center of this like flat top of this, and then there are there's like a big stone altar piece, and then there's like some rough furniture, kind of almost like seats that are like all around. So there's definitely some places that are this hole doesn't appear to be something you're supposed to come out of, but it looks like from this side it's something that you go into, because from this side it looks like it's
Grimble's going to tie the rope to.
It's got like a lip, it looks like where you would pour something in, not something should be coming out. There's no.
Okay, Grimble's going to look around and find something sturdy to tie the other end of the rope to, and then kind of pokes over and yell out, "Climb, climb, climb!"
As you hear Grimble yelling to climb, the monstrous beast behind you is still cracking through. What do you do?
You can bet that like Loudness kept touching the rope and like tugging it lightly and being like, nope, not yet, nope, not yet. Like waiting until finally it like gives and the signal's given, and he's gonna dash up. So like look at Bella and be like, okay, and dig.
Give me a boots roll with advantage, because we've defined that your version of Streetwise is scampering on rooftops and doing this is your jam.
I got a 4 and a 6.
Great. 4's a hit, and the 6 is currently a hit because of the set of darkness, and so you easily climb out this in such a way, and it makes it actually easier for Bella.
Nice. And I will turn back and kind of like try to like hold the rope steady or something, as much as he can, because he's anxious. So it's like going like. He's trying to be brave.
As the eyeball beak is just chewing it up behind me, we have to make this cinematic. So I am running, and I parkour off the ground and in the hallway to try to get up the 10 feet to try to clear as much as I can. I'm going to do that like goom, 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 ping-ponging back and forth to the walls as the earth is falling away behind me, so that I can hopefully clear at least half the rope and then grab a hold and then pull myself out.
Give me a boots roll.
That's a 3.
I really like the sound of your dice tower.
Thanks. My daddy made it for me.
It's just got a real nice. It's got a real nice resonance.
It's got a little clickety clackety.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. This is his legacy right here.
Aww.
Yeah.
Bella pops out. Loudness holds onto the rope, and you pull that. And as you do, the three of you are standing on top of this ziggurat, and you hear the crushing, scuttling noise quiet. And for a moment, there is just peace. It's the stillness of the night.
Rimble's
And then on the screen, it comes up and it says 6 hours earlier.
Love it.
6 hours earlier.
All right. You are all called into. You had all been called into the Pigeon Queen's waiting room, which is a filthy apartment. Somewhere in the bad side. Where the Queen of the Beggars hangs out and does everything. And they said that you had all done such a great job, last year when you discovered that murderous creature, that they wanted to reward you by giving you this opportunity, to explore this temple that had been unearthed in the on the far side of the city. It's an old thing that was there long ago, and the reason that they had asked for you all is because the same kind of markings that were found in that strange temple that you had invaded were found at the doorway to this unexplored and uncharted piece. Like, so this was a temple that had been like buried under another part of the city, like you had seen before, like it was part of the sewers were built on top of it. So you have gone to this piece. We're going to figure out your starting point. You are, as a traditional in a Mazes game, at the Door to Adventure. You are at this site that has all of these rooms around the door. The door is found. It's literally underneath a cavern. They were doing something that it broke a hole in the floor into the sewer, and then down where that like sewer piece was, they found this like ancient building, and from their side it looked like an old temple, and then with some excavation they found this door, and that's where you are at. So you are literally under the streets of the city, as members of the Guild of Midnight and Silver, with an opportunity to be the first people to go into this potentially very lucrative tomb.
So, between our last escapade, Bella tried to do her homework and dig into, see whatever old texts or arcane knowledge to try and discover if there's any research having been done about these runes and about this language, to see what she could learn just out of her own curiosity from the last time. And then lo and behold, here she is in front of a door that has these runes on them again. And she's going to try to, based on whatever research that she was able to do between then and now, determine what it says.
For that knowledge, would you like to spend a treasure, spend a star?
I'm gonna,
give me a
yeah,
darkness?
because I'm gonna spend it. I'm gonna spend a star.
Okay.
Because I think it might be helpful in our exploration.
So you spent some time with a forger that's known for having extensive knowledge of scripts, like the kind of person that like can copy any script and knows all the stuff, etc., etc. And that forger leads you to a library deep within the heart of the Guild of Death. The assassins have this set of books that are like things that no one should read. But you're a member. Things are, this is how this works. And
Membership has its privileges.
yes, it's you either need to be an assassin or have an American Express card. One of the two.
Both. Jeez, world's your oyster.
The particular runes seem to be the ecclesiastical language of one of the sects that existed in the city when it was run by the witch kings of old, and it was this worship to the cult of the spider god, the eightfold path, when you look at the runes, they're all like, they're like literally like like when you look at them, you're like, I don't like them. Like they make you feel bad to look at them because they tap into something primal and strange. But usually they were used for more than just liturgical purposes. They were also used to mark gateways and pathways, because the whole thing about the guild, or about the cult of the Eightfold Path, was worshiping this spider god that could travel through from one dimension to another, one plane of existence to another.
So that says welcome.
This might be meta. As would the Witch King and that cult be in the time of elves? Okay, interesting.
Yes, it's like that's from the before time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The
elves. The elves are the elves were not nice people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we leave for this adventure, I was wondering, I have an edge called Lore Wise.
Yeah.
I want to have a Grimble kind of like go to their what's it called? I think their group is called the Union of Something Takers. But look up like hit the history behind the ziggurat and everything, the area.
The ziggurat you don't know anything about.
Oh, okay.
We, the audience, know about it.
Okay.
That happens. That will happen in 6 hours.
Oh, okay. Then
what you know is that there is you found this like strange temple that is like been built over on top. So if you want to spend some time and spend a star, on the research. You get a bunch of information from what do you want to know about? Do you want to know about
the dangers and like like the overall danger and like any major like curses, since Grimble is a cursor.
Yeah, so this is all legends. Like nobody actually has any real information about this. But the legends say that when the Witch Kings ruled, their armies could like show up anywhere. And it said it was because of their dedication to the Eightfold Path, that they, offered sacrifices to these dark gods that would allow them to travel from place to place through these gates, and that they opened up temples wherever they could find that, and that as people spent time in that cult, they would begin to lose their sight, and it would be replaced with another sense. So the old priests of this cult would almost always wear, blinders over their eyes.
Okay.
They, definitely involved in darkness and strange sensory things, teleportation.
Well, then we'll make sure we're gonna grab some lanterns, oil, and torches for this this adventure. Even though we all have kind of dark vision, I guess. Most of us.
No, I don't.
Oh,
So I
it's
need
yeah.
them.
Except for loudness. So yeah, torches, like light sources, and Grimble's also going to relay the information that they learned to the group. And on goes, so not only a cult, but kind of like a franchise.
It's like Subway. Eat fresh.
And it's
Fresh,
like
fresh.
the Subway. Do we know why the cult declined? Maybe that's something I would have asked, like one of my urchin friends, my dirty friends.
All your yeah, the street philosophers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Witch Kings just fought with each other until like they basically exterminate themselves, and the ones that were left, the ones that remained left, no one really knows what happened to them, and that humans moved into the city after that time.
Okay. So Loudness is not happy. He just turned 18. He's like, I taste adulthood and I'm gonna die. He's like, so what if like right now, like all the Witch Kings are in here? Do you think, like, what if, I'm not saying that's the case, but what if they're here and we're gonna find them, and then they like open their eyes and they're not super happy to see us and they kick our asses? Because I just got my carriage driving license and I haven't gotten to use it yet, really.
Well, if they do that, we curse them. Curse.
Oh. Just can't really do any of that.
Grimble
I mean,
will do curses for you.
I can say a bad word, but I don't think that's gonna do anything.
In spite of all of this horrible information, based on the horrible vibe I get from the runes, the terrible description of this franchise, I'm going in.
Oh. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna go in. Okay.
Yes, because there could be sacks and sacks of monies.
Okay.
The Witch Kings were incredibly wealthy. And the cult of the Eightfold Path was a powerful part of it. So you the doorway into this temple. You pass through it, and as you do, the air on the other side is still. Doesn't feel like anything's moved here in a very long time. It's even quieter. Like at least outside in the sewer access where you got to this door, there was still some, dripping water, kind of, like a little bit of background noise. And here it's just still. It's just quiet. And you are in what appears to be a large circular room. But the walls have a little bit of an angle to them. And then in the center of the room, there is an altar, a giant altar, like an altar like 20 feet. It looks like a regular altar, but it's like 20 feet high. This is a big, huge opening space.
What could possibly go wrong? Is there any writing or anything on the altar? Do we detect any like blood or anything fresh or otherwise?
Give me a books roll.
That's a 5, so nope.
You don't notice anything, but there isn't any writing. But the construction of the altar does match everything else that you've seen.
Okay.
It doesn't look out of place, or if it was added here later.
Can I look around for proof of people? Like if it looks like anyone's been here more recently, or if anyone might be hiding in a corner.
Give me a books roll.
I got one else too.
You don't find any tracks. You do find that there's not a lot of dust. And it is it's not dry. But what you do find is that it's obviously everything's like kind of moldy, and every so often there are just like rips in the mold.
Oh.
Like like if you were to like hit it with a rake or a stick.
Right. Okay, so in the midst of this, Loudness just goes, the mold has been disturbed.
Yeah. At a weird, at a pattern that doesn't look like a person walking.
Oh, what does it look like? Does it look more like?
It's too like it's too. It doesn't. You would expect there to be a certain like pattern or rhythm to human, and this it's too wide, too spaced strangely.
So he looks at both of you and just frowns. Just looks really sad.
Oh, Loudness! I'm gonna climb up to the top of this stone altar.
Okay.
Can I have Grumble just kind of scamper around, like poking around, basically looking for anything that looks like a discoloration in the stone, basically a hidden switch, or like one of those giant stones where you push and the secret entrance goes da 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 da.
Perform a Gygaxian pass across the floor. Give me a books roll, Grumble.
Okay, I got a 2.
Yeah, you go around. You don't really see too much. Everything seems to be pretty untouched. Everything seems to be in order. Like it doesn't. You do find, much like what Loudness was explaining, you do find that there are strange scratches every so often in the rock. Like it like somebody pulling something across. They were hitting it with a pickaxe.
Or they were trying to climb up and out.
Or they were trying to climb up and out. And as you climb, Bella, you have reached the top of the altar.
Mm-hmm.
And from the top side of the altar, you see that there is, in the center of the altar, a circle that has been inscribed. It is about 3 or 4 feet in diameter. And it is just a swirling, it's just like a swirling light, yes, like
it's magical.
It's definitely magical. Like, I mean,
Okay.
you don't even need to be a professional to know that. You just look down and you're like, oh, there's a weird magic circle that is just like spinning.
Grimble, there's something you need to see up here.
Okay, give me a sec. Grimble's gonna like just kind of bound up this wall, kind of like, well, a cross between a dog and a frog, I guess.
All right.
That was one weird night.
Oh, sorry.
You get up to the top and you are seeing, what you see here is this disc. It does match your research into what the portals look like of this 8-fold path.
Okay. Would Grimble know what school of magic it is? Recognize that?
It's a lot. It's a lot of different kinds of magic. The big thing that you get from it is old. It's
Cold?
old.
Okay.
Old. It is also cold. The room itself here is I don't want to call it fetid, but there's definitely some moisture to the air. So it's a little warm, but this, when you get close to this disc, it is definitely a little bit colder.
Does Grimble share this?
Roll for me.
Yes. Grimble lets everybody know. Goes, yes. According to Grimble's research, yes, this is most like the portal.
Loudness, can you make a books roll for me?
Oh. I got a 6.
Well, that's good, because we have established that Loudness is a little nihilistic and is always looking out for the worst thing that could happen. You hear someone yelling your name from the door that you came in.
Oh, I whirl around.
And
look. I'm confused.
You spin around and you hear one of the people from the guilds yelling your name, and as you do, you see that the door that you came through, there is a stone slab sliding down over it.
And they go, no, and I start digging. You just hear me go, no, and I'm just running at this.
It hits the ground with a satisfying stone on stone piece, and when that happens, little holes in the wall on the outside of the walls, water starts to seep into them. It's not like a huge raging torrent, but it's you realize there's a lot of them. So just a little bit of water, and
it's kind of like those statues of those cherubs peeing, like that much water coming out.
Yes, that is it is cherub pee level of water.
I'm so upset. I'm like, who even called my name?
It was definitely one of the people that were that came here with you guys to to show it to you, whatever.
And they locked us in here.
So, you don't think that now that you're thinking that person was trying to yell to let you know that it looked like the door was closing behind it.
It wasn't betrayal.
Yeah. It wasn't betrayal.
He's been pranked so many times. For a second, he was like, is this another prank, you guys?
It's just a prank. I don't like it.
Right?
So
Yeah,
we
you-
see
you
this
go to
all
that-
happening from up here, right?
I
Yeah.
mean, you guys definitely heard the thunk
Boom.
of the.
So I peek over the edge, and I start to see this water filling up, and I'm like, Loudness, get up here.
You just heard me go, "Is this a prank?" And then I'm still like eyebrows knit as I go up. I'm like, oh, I don't want to believe it was like a prank thingy, so I'm not gonna believe it was a prank because I think we've all really gotten closer than when I was 17.
Can I ask, from Grimble's research, this portal, do they know if it's a one-way portal or the portal that they can go back and forth from?
They were usually bi-directional travel, because it was a gate to another gate.
I'm gonna take out a coin and toss it into the circle.
Yeah, it disappears.
Okay.
How do you know if the coin died or not?
I don't have the time to explain the ins and outs of inanimate objects' sentience. I reached down to help Loudness up onto the altar. How much water is now in the room?
The floor itself is now covered in kind of a thin. I mean, you would guess that, like, if it were to fill this room, it would take, hours upon hours.
Okay. But still, it's not good. I think the portal's our only way out of here.
But we don't know if the coin just exploded.
But I do know that in hours we'll be drowned.
We could dig.
So possible death as opposed to certain death.
If we dig a hole,
I'll flip a coin.
dig like a tunnel.
Where it's solid stone.
I mean, into the like if we had a pickaxe.
I jump into the portal.
Let's say when this is going on, Grimble are ready when to go like, enough talking, too much talking.
This is like all low, and it climbs over and sticks a leg in there, and it's like really slow and painful, like putting a dog in the tub, just like he just falls in finally.
All right. You are in a large, well appointed, plush, even room. It's like a big octagon, and it's covered in like these divan chairs, and there's big throne-like pieces, and there's ewers of brass and stone jugs all along the walls, and Bella, when you jumped into the portal, but you rolled out like this direction. You came in this way, but you rolled out this way.
Yeah.
And it's this like gorgeous archway that has the same portal inside of it. Like there's this elaborate stone archway that's been built around this portal piece. Grimble then basically flops out, and then strangely, Loudness's leg sticks out of it, and then they basically like fall through it very slowly, but like it is a prolonged experience. It looks like they're being sucked into the portal, like from this side. Like all you see is like, but this looks like a massive waiting room.
Grimble's going to walk over to one of the sofa things and kind of touch the sofa area. Goes, "Oh, this is very nice. Is this velvet?"
Yeah, this is like super high grade. Like this is like the kind of opulence that you only get with the ridiculously wealthy.
Is the room wood? Is it stone? What is the?
It is a whitish stone. The stone cut of the building is it's not like marble, but it's really well put together.
And there's
Similar in construction to the temple in look, but of a nicer grade.
Are there any doors in the room?
Yes, there are 2 doors. One directly opposite the portal. That is a large 2-door piece, and then there is a smaller, like regular sized singular door that is near the side where all of the brass urns or stone urns and brass ewers are sitting.
Is there any like tapestry hangings on the walls?
Yes.
Grimble's gonna go over and study one of these tapestries. I was wondering if I could use lore wise to kind of figure out if they have any meanings or anything like that.
Give me a books roll with advantage.
Okie. I got double 3s.
There you go. They're kind of abstract looking, the tapestries, but they do have symbols that are like woven into them, and you read about some of these same things, like they're inscribed prayers. Like each of these tapestries is a prayer to one of the dark gods of the Eightfold Path. This is like a safe place, a prayer of protection, in the strange way that when you worship a dark and evil god, most of your prayers are, "Please don't kill me." That's basically what these are. It's like, hey, we think you're awesome. Please don't kill me. But in high ecclesiastical versions of that.
So the tapestry itself isn't evil, like isn't magic though, or anything like that.
It is definitely somewhat magical. You get the feeling that it's preserving all this stuff here because it's very old. Like most of this stuff should be eaten through by insects and all.
It's that old. Okay.
Yeah, it's that old.
I'm gonna go listen at a door. Okay, sorry. Yeah,
you're effectively like, this is like opening a tomb, opening a pyramid, right? And it's still got nice cloth, right? Because it's being protected by this.
Grimble's going to relay this to the group and goes, "These tapestries are like prayers of protection to the franchise evil gods."
I'm gonna go listen at one of the doors.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna listen to the other one since that was usually kind of what he would do.
I'll go to the double door.
Okay, so it's a little door.
So Bella and Loudness, give me books rolls.
1.
Both this is stuff that you guys both do, so it's all good. You at the double doors, you hear footsteps in marching.
I turn to the group and I do this, and then I go.
And at the smaller door, you hear water, running water.
I think he he would know like hand signs actually, so he would like listen and kind of do like whatever the thief word for, like water would be, but he doesn't hear people. Yeah, it's like
I go dolphins.
Sounds like
Hamburger?
waves,
what
fish.
Roller coaster.
like
Thieves can't for amusement park.
we're gonna have a fun time.
I recommend that we go not out the door. That sounds like there's an army outside.
It
here.
doesn't sound like an army. It sounds like marching. Like it doesn't sound like there's 1,000 guys walking around. But it sounds like a person walking in a
with purpose. Oh,
Yeah.
just a person.
Or maybe a couple of people, but it's definitely
Spider
like a guard or of some such.
like a guard or a
Okay.
patrol or something.
Yeah.
As your fine trained assassin skills, you're like, there's definitely a guard. That sounds like a guard.
Yeah. Those sound like guard feet. Judging by the distance between the footfalls, they sound like they are of a certain height, and that height is regulation for. I just go Sherlock.
regulation height.
Yeah, so I can tell how tall the I
And
say
whether or
we
not
go
they
through
have
the.
athlete's foot.
Yeah. They're favoring their right leg due to a severe infection of their toe. I say we go through can we check the water door?
It isn't locked.
Okay. I'm gonna very quietly try.
It opens from your perspective. It opens out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna open.
Inside, you open the piece. There is a large it looks like a well, but there's water pouring out of a hole in the wall at a much higher rate than the last little holes, and it's pouring into this large piece. And you get it's warm. The water itself is warm.
So it's kind of like one of those gargoyle statues throwing up water.
Yes.
Maybe even a little bit more than that. But it's keeping this well, like from your perspective, you can see now that it's pretty full of like hot water. It's
Like a bathhouse?
almost like a bathhouse, but it doesn't look like, there's not a whole lot of room in here.
Is there anything else in the room?
There are some shelves that look like there may have been things on that. There's some wax and debris, but nothing else is left.
As if somebody burned candles in there. But this seems like it was a room for washing up in.
How hot was the water when we were in the other room?
In the big room,
Yeah.
that was definitely water coming from like like regular. That was like cold water.
Yeah.
This is like, this water is hot enough that you can feel it. Like if you walk into a bathroom while the shower's on,
Oh, okay.
where you're like, I can tell this is a hot shower.
Okay. Something here is man-made. That's just a small room.
Grimble's gonna kind of look around and goes, very nice. Maybe Grimble make this vacation home.
It's a very strange trip to get to your vacation home, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Well apportioned. It's got
Location.
its own
Mm-hmm.
How big is the hole that the water's coming out of? Is it like this? Or is it...
Yeah, like maybe a foot.
Oh, okay.
And you can see that it's like carved. It's like carved into the wall, like so that there's a lip that's like directing the jet of water into the well.
Is this water like hot enough to like injure us with a burning, or it's just nice and hot?
It's nice and hot.
Okay, but so it won't injure us though, right?
Yeah. Everything that you get, every vibe you get from this room is that it is a place of cleaning.
Okay. I remember when we made our characters, you said that the goblins in your world are kind of like frogs, which means are they amphibious?
No,
Oh, okay.
but there, in the world of uh, the city of Skull, the goblins of that world, I think that they might spawn in water. But I haven't figured that out.
Can I have Grimble just like take a deep breath and just like put their head in water, just kind of look around?
Yeah, absolutely. You see, there's not a lot of light in there, but what you do see is there are some gems and stuff at the bottom of this water.
Grimble's going to like try to grab one of the gems and then poke out from the water and look back to the group and hold up the gem. Goes, monies.
Yeah, you gain a treasure, a treasure's worth of treasure. Yeah, there's some haphazard, a few, gemstones and nothing ridiculously, not the richest of the rich stuff, but strange to just be at the bottom of a.
I'm gonna check the urns in the other room.
Many of them are still sealed. The ones that aren't sealed smell of vinegar.
Okay.
Probably like wine.
I'm gonna dump one out.
All we need is coconut.
Wine.
When you you dump one out and it's of wine, but it's turned. Another one's got oil in it. So some of them are still together, but
You guys think we have to go in the guard room?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
If nobody else is going to grab any of the other gems, Grimble's just going to grab them all.
And I pick up one of the like brass goblets or like braziers, just in case. Like he has now a knife or two on him, but he's gonna bonk someone.
Gonna bonk somebody with a brass urn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dump the oil so that it seeps under the door and into the hallway.
Okay.
Before we open it. See if that garners some kind of reaction.
You don't hear anything, and when you get back to the door, you don't hear the footsteps anymore.
So it's as if somebody passed the hallway. All right, let's open that door.
Hopefully they think we overflow toilet.
Are you gonna light it on fire?
I like how you say hopefully.
Yeah,
Somebody goes, oh good, they overflow the toilet.
You open the doors over the oily floor onto a long hallway, and the long hallway at the I can't even really call it a hallway. It's like a procession out to an open air piece, but obviously it is nowhere near where you started.
No,
you were in a city, and now you are looking out over an expanse into a wasteland. In the distance, there are mountains, and the door that you're coming out of, on either side of the door, is a statue of a woman with 8 arms, like 4 arms on a side, and each one of them is like doing a complicated like arm dance. And their faces have a cloth over their eyes, and they look to be wearing crowns, pointy crowns.
Chris, what's the name of the city we're from again?
Skull.
Okay, Grimble's gonna look out and goes, Grimble does not think we are in Skull anymore.
I'm gonna turn and look. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, can I roll books to see, because they have multiple gods, right? Because of the, or just
Yeah,
the
give
one.
me a books roll.
Yeah, could I do the same with my lore wise?
Yes.
I got 4.
I rolled 2.
Between the two of you, you talk about it. Yeah, they worshipped all kinds of gods. It was a very transactional religion. And near the end of the time of the Witch Kings, they had done some really despicable and horrible things, making deals with dark gods, and there's even tales that that there's a god that sleeps under the city of Skull.
Ooh.
That has slept there since the time of the witch lords.
I'm gonna turn and look back at the building, like step through the door and look at where we came out of.
Right. So there's this door, double doors, flanked by these statues.
Yep.
You're on I guess it's like a portico, like a big big patio that leads out, and but there's walls on the sides, and then the walls turn to columns, and then it's to open air. And then above you, the building going up is this massive ziggurat. This is the very front porch to this massive ziggurat.
And do the stairs go down to this vast wasteland, or are we on a balcony?
I was gonna
You're
say
on a balcony.
It's kind of like that scene in Conan the Barbarian, where you see that the end scene where you see the ziggurat where Thulsa Dooms and everything is on, and where Conan cut off their head, kind of like that.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Okay.
If it's a ziggurat, is it tiered or is it smooth?
It's tiered, and then there are lines going up each of the sides that are smooth.
Meaning, can we climb off this balcony and then around the outside of the ziggurat?
Yeah, if you climb up the wall of this building, get to the next piece, then you can get on and the next tier and move around. Yeah.
Okay. And Grimble's gonna kind of point up at the spider goddess statue. Goes, Grimble thinks these evil gods are very much like district managers of franchise.
I gotta say, this is a goddess, right? This isn't just a guard, but it's a symbol of a goddess.
They are symbols of the god of the Eightfold Path. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So what?
Is there any other path in the room we just came from?
Well, this guard walked past us, past the door. Where'd they?
Or something that to this portico that you're on extends to the sides, and then it goes at the whole level of this part of the ziggurat.
Well, then I want to walk in the direction that I heard the footsteps come from, not where it went to, but came from. If I heard it sort of Doppler.
Before Bella does that, could Grimble check if, since we let water in there, was there any wet footprints walk through the water that we let in?
No, when you poured the oil out, nothing responded to that. There's just a big puddle of oil in front of the doors there.
So, did I hear the footsteps go left to right or right to left?
You're not really sure.
Oh, okay. But they obviously disappeared around a corner of some kind.
When you were listening, you heard them, and then you had you walked back to the other door.
Yeah, to communicate.
And then when you came back, it wasn't there anymore.
Right.
Loudness can try to scout forward a little bit, even though he's he's freaked out. He's just like back in the saddle, and we'll try to kind of like creep around corners since he's quiet.
You
and
are
kind of-
quiet. Super stealthy. Give me a boots roll at advantage. And are you going clockwise? Are you going left? Or are you going right?
Let's go left.
All right.
I got a 2 and a 4.
Very, very easily, hugging the walls, sticking to the shadows.
I will draft in Loudness's wake.
There is there's plenty of light to see by the moon here is very bright.
Is it just one moon?
There are moons,
Moons. Okay.
which you don't feel like you're on another world. They're the same moons. Yes,
thank you.
yes, the same.
No.
Moons. It's very important.
There's
But
multiple moons.
when are we?
As you're going around the side of the building, you can see you start to hear like you're coming up behind someone, and there are 3 robed figures that are walking away from you. Like they're also walking left, and they are effectively marching very slowly, ploddingly. They're not fast. They totally could be what Bella had heard before.
Okay, cool.
I grimace and I like kind of like scuttle back, shimmy back, and I sort of whisper and give the 3 thieves can't signal and nod.
I got a question. Actually, 2 questions. One, multiple moons normal for this world?
Is what?
Multiple moons normal for this world?
Yes.
Okay.
There are 2 suns and 2 moons.
Oh, okay. And also, like, are those guards marching like kind of like the Wicked Witches of the West guards, like OEO? They're not making the OEO sound, but they're kind of like marching like in that.
You wouldn't actually think that they're guards. They're wearing long robes, hooded robes. They're walking in rhythm.
Okay.
So I'll probably tell them like it could be magical.
Yeah,
So
They could be undead. They could be possessed.
the marching
by
is
something.
more like a processional than
Okay.
it is.
It's like a religious rite. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What's to the right?
I gotta see.
I'm gonna go look.
Give me a boots roll.
A boots roll. Oh, Jesus Christ! That's a 5.
As you go to the left,
To the right.
as you go to the right, the level of the ziggurat that you're on looks the same. And when you get over to the right, you see that there is another group of 3 hooded figures that are walking towards you. They're pretty far away.
Okay.
Based on what you can think of, they're kind of on the opposite. They're walking opposite to the other group.
Can I make out faces?
You can't make out faces. They're definitely lost in their hooded robes.
What color's their hoods?
The robes themselves that they're wearing are a very dark green in color.
Okay.
Like almost black, but definitely there's some green. The center one is holding a thurible. Like a chain with a sensor on the bottom, and their incense coming out of it.
Okay, so this is a little worship site, a little temple.
So, how do we get out?
We could go back through the portal and see if that room is flooded. Well, it's probably my feeling is it would be easier to tail somebody than to try to go towards people that are walking towards us. Attempt to stay behind the people to the left and see where that leads us.
But what if they turn around? Do we just push them off and say bye?
If you are so inclined.
I'm not. Is what I'm saying. I just want to be sure before we start doing that and launching people off. I just need to know.
Well, we also don't know. We don't know anything about them. So, Grimble, what do you think?
Question. How far is the balcony we're on to the ground? If you walk out to the edge and look out over, you're probably maybe 3 stories up. So you're pretty close to the bottom of the ziggurat. Okay.
We could go above them and walk along one of the tiers of the ziggurat.
I like that. Let's do that.
Well, this is like, that sounds like I don't have to die. That sounds great.
I don't have to encounter anyone. Yeah, cool.
He said he's built for sneak and running.
Yep. So so Bella uses part of the statue's arms to scamper up to the next tier of the ziggurat.
Yeah, you can do that. No
above
problem.
the door. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I put a hand down to help up Grimble.
The actual structure of the ziggurat's
join.
actually pretty easy to climb.
Okay, great.
Because it's kind of like blocks of stone.
Yeah.
And all of you are actually pretty adept at moving that way, so getting up and down seems very easy.
I kind of
So
want to
which way
say.
do you guys want to go, left or right?
Which one? They're walking this way on the left.
They're going right to left. It looks like, yeah.
Yeah. So if their backs were probably still.
Right, they're
Making a round,
going
yeah.
clockwise. They're going clockwise around the building.
All right, they're all going in a circle eventually. Then he would be like left. A totally uneducated guess. Like
Grimville's gonna just defer to the sneaky sneaks.
Sneaky.
yeah, he can scout again. Kind of see if there's a door or something.
As you are going around the left, you see the robed figures below you moving around. They never look up.
Mm-hmm.
Their movements are eerie and strange in the fact that they are so precise. It is like a very slow march, but they are moving at like the footfalls are rhythmic is definitely the only way that I can describe it.
In his head, he's like, "They're fucking dead. They're dead. No way. They're dead."
Being impaired.
they're living impaired. Is there any wall or window like opening that we can get
The
back
level
in?
that you're on, you haven't seen anything.
Okay.
Can we get
just like a flat level?
Can we get ahead of where they're walking and see what's below us?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing then.
And you're trying to see what's below.
So if they're like walking below us and they're doing this like very plodding rhythmic thing, I want to kind of lap them and go ahead and see what they're walking towards to see if there's any other entrance ahead of us or any type thing. Yeah.
Yes. At the when you do that, where you believe would probably be the opposite to what the door that you came out of.
Yeah, so around the backside.
Around the backside, and it's right below you.
Yeah.
Is another door with the same statues.
Okay. So I'm gonna climb quietly down, hopefully with enough time that before they would round the bend, and see what I see.
There isn't a door here. It's just a doorway. and it's a long, sloping passageway that goes down into the ziggurat.
Okay. Guys! And I do the thieves' cant for, there's not a door, there's a doorway. And what you see is a long, sloping path into the ziggurat. What say you?
I don't think there's thieves' cant for ziggurat.
I'm absolutely sure there is.
I'm straight up staring at you.
100% there
Rimble's
is.
just gonna look at Bella and then looks at Loudness and then looks at Bella and looks back at Loudness and just shrugs.
I got everything except for I don't know what is that supposed to be ziggurat? Is that
100%.
I love it.
Never seen that one. But he'll come down.
B-I-G-G.
Assassin's Kent.
A-U-R-T.
Spelling out every letter. You didn't have to.
The idea that thieves' cant is just voguing,
Just voguing.
that's phenomenal.
Yep, it's just voguing.
You're like,
You gotta
oh, I got it. I understand.
You have to suck in your cheeks.
Loudness giving face.
He said that there's two of them and they're armed with swords. You're like,
That's not what he said. No, I have a little arthritis in the wrist. You misunderstood.
Your butterfly hands are not.
Yeah.
not
This
moving.
hand has a lisp.
He'll jump down and join you and help Grimble down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just picturing like when Bella picks up Grimble to help them up, and when Loudness picks up Grimble to help them down. It's kind of like a parent picking up their child. Like,
Yep, yep.
downsies.
And I go, reach
Just
under
cargo.
the bush and grab the diaper.
He's staring so hard, like, no. Like, we'll probably like use his jacket sleeves
No.
to grab the thorns. He does not know what that is.
doesn't want to touch the wood.
Yeah.
He's still processing like under the bush, and with it, like putting them down.
Yep.
So you're all standing in front of this
Yep.
sloping passage
Yeah,
Into the ziggurat, yeah.
into the darkness of the ziggurat.
probably going in so that he's on the more paranoid side, so he'd want to at least get out from their eyes.
You're entering into there.
Yeah.
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 I'm going to add a darkness because this is literally entering the darkness.
Fair.
I'm gonna grab a soda.
Why don't we take a quick break and come back as we enter into the darkness?
Woo!
Wow. That's what we call a threshold. I love it.
Hi, everybody, and we're back. We're playing mazes here on Life Action Role Playing.
We were just swearing in Thieves' Camp.
That's correct. We were giving you the entire plot of Everything Everywhere All at Once in Camp. Which is a great movie, and you should see it if you get an opportunity.
So good.
Where we were was we are in some unknown place on a ziggurat, apparently to a long dead cult, and our brave adventurers ish are standing in a hallway that is leading deep into the earth, and they had entered into that darkness. As you were walking down the hallway, you're on a slight incline going down. You can hear the ritual feet outside, of the guards going by. And as you are going down lower, you begin to hear what sounds like chanting coming from below.
Oh, yo.
Do we recognize the language?
It is a language that you don't know, but Bella, you are of Elven extraction.
I am.
It sounds like some form of Elven. Some old.
It sounds like some form of Elven. I communicate to my crew.
Since Grimble has lore-wise, do they recognize it?
You don't recognize it.
Okay.
Like, and it doesn't even occur to you that it would be Elven. It's so weird, but like it's the kind of thing like if you spoke it, it would sound more natural to you. Like if you give you a real world example, like
it's like if Portuguese kind of sounds like Spanish, but it's not.
It's like if you hear someone speaking Portuguese and you don't speak Spanish, you're like, why is that person speaking Russian? And then a Spanish person hears it and they go, oh, no, that's Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it is. It's from an Elven ear, it definitely sounds like Elvish. It's got the right cadence.
Got it.
But the words, the language itself is
I was going to say it's like Cantonese versus Mandarin.
I don't know enough of the differences to do it, but yes, it would be like the fact that you would be like, oh, these sound the same, like they're being, the words are different, but the structure.
Sindarin or is it?
It's Tegwar versus Sindarin. Verbally. I have a good buddy, or used to have a good buddy who was fluent in Sindarin. He actually did work for the movies when they made them as like a voice coach to be like, no, that's not how you say that.
You're saying it wrong. Like, way to turn your nerddom into a lucrative career.
Yeah, he worked at Iron Crown Enterprises. He worked at ICE that made the Middle Earth role-playing games. Like, he was 100% the person. And
I love it.
When it was like, hey, we need someone that can actually like tell us how to pronounce, like, can explain the correct way, kind of a cool job.
Perfect.
But what you hear is
which way is this voice coming from?
It's coming from down below,
straight
ahead.
Okay.
And it's there's some strange sibilance to it.
Does it sound like? I'm imagining it sounds just like a chorus. Like there are more than 3 people.
Yes, it's more than 3. It sounds like call and response chanting.
Okay. I look at Bella and I'm like, do you have a plan? Because I don't think I even need to go scout that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk towards the weird chanting.
Oh, okay. That's your. I thought we were gonna
Well,
do.
it's either that or be caught by the people behind us. At least, like,
No, I mean, I just. I thought we were gonna do like a planning thing.
that's my plan.
I gotta.
There's only one direction we can go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a long passageway.
I got a quick question. Even though Grimble doesn't recognize the language, since they are a spellcaster, do they recognize the way it's structured? Is it like spell-like to them, like a ritual or something?
Like
It's definitely ritual, but it's you know it's not like casting a spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down as quietly as I can. Little mouse feet.
Are you going ahead of
Yeah, because they used to be that person with all their friends. I could go and do that anyway.
give
so.
them give me a boots roll with advantage because you're quiet.
3 and a 4.
Good. You mouse feet your way down the corridor. The corridor comes to a large set of a large portal. Open set of doors. There's no actual doors in the piece, and it levels out, and it is a massive room that is lit by a shaft of moonlight coming from the very top, and there is a crowd of hooded figures, not like the robes that the guys walking outside were wearing. These are a variety of different colors, and they have hoods, but they don't all have hoods on. They look like elves, and they're all chanting, and they're like in a circle around this like shaft of moonlight. You can't tell what the shaft, like what's you can't see beyond the crowd if there's something in between them.
I'm gonna come back and kind of be like, I'm gonna explain all this and be like, I don't know, do you wanna wear the diaper thing that was a robe and kind of see if Grimble's too little, and I'm not an elf.
All right. Yeah. This would involve him with them undoing their robe and me putting it on. You want me to kind of incognito go down into the crowd?
Yeah, I can't see like what they're just looking into the light, and I can't see if there's like something special in the middle of it.
All right. Well, then that sounds like a really safe course of action. So, I asked Grimble if I could use their super absorbent diaper to cloak myself, because at least I won't be afraid.
Yeah.
To cloak myself in the protection from fear, which just is like liquid courage. So I put this thing on, and I'm gonna try and sneak my way into the crowd to see what they're looking at.
I got really quick before you do that. From what Loudness describes, does Grimble as a spellcaster and also having lore-wise recognize like at least the ballpark what kind of ritual is? Like, is it a summoning ritual? Is it a ritual protection? Kind of like that kind of stuff?
It's either an act of worship,
Okay,
or it could be like a summoning.
okay,
Very similar.
okay. Grimble's gonna relay this to the group and give Bella their diaper robe. Smells
Smells
a little funky.
What a wonderful smell you've discovered.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. I cloak myself in it and make my way into the crowd.
So as you're making your way to the crowd, you can see that, you know, maybe every other person has their hood up.
Right.
And the faces are elven, but they're very gaunt, and the ones that are out, their eyes are like kind of just like glazed over, almost to the point of cataracts,
Like milky.
And they're all chanting these strange words, and no one seems to be looking at you.
I don't think they can see me. I'm gonna walk towards, try to make my way to see what they're surrounding.
When you get the first like sight of it that you get, is there's a large hole in the ground, and on the four corners there are small obelisks, and like the 4 points of a square around the circle, that look like the obelisks that you saw outside.
We didn't see any outside because that was 6 hours from now.
Yes, that is we the audience recognize.
Yes, exactly. What the what? Privileged observer. Yeah.
And privileged observer, I like it. But the shaft of moonlight is like down into like it's just like going into this pit below.
Yeah. This seems real safe. What do I hear? Other than I hear their chanting. Definitely.
You hear the chanting.
Okay.
But if you're as you're closer and you're listening, you hear a clicking, clacking, a scritching and a scratching.
Sure. All right, I'm gonna slowly back my way out of the crowd.
Give me a boots roll.
Oh, what's that advantage? I mean, okay, I'll do it with it. It's a 7.
Oh yeah. You back in and you push one of these elves out of the way, and all of the chanting just stops.
Oh crap!
And they all look at you with their blank faces, you know, and they're like, some of them, now that you're like looking, like their heads are on like it, like kind of like weird angles, like, you know, they're not. And like the one that you knocked into, you realize has more than 2 arms.
No, he doesn't.
You know. And then you hear the clicking and the clacking intensifies.
Excuse me, I my bad. I with the ishi oogie. Hey, you look great, Carl. And then I'm gonna yeah, my feet will take out from under me.
Loudness and Grimble
Oh,
see Bella like tearing up the hallway.
Not afraid.
Grimble's gonna
mind you,
look
'cause
over
of
at
the rope.
Loudness. Grimble's gonna look over at Loudness. Goes, guess we gonna do the running now.
Hey, what's a scroll of delay do?
You think that it slows down time for a
Do I get to
moment.
control where time slows down,
maybe?
or does it do it for all of us?
Yeah, it's just like you it doesn't do it to yourself.
Okay, good. Good to know. Yeah, well, because I'm just running right now. What's happening around?
Yeah, I don't have to be told twice. I see Bella running. The knife.
No thoughts, just turn.
I'm like, oh, she's running. Okay, we're out. And I'm gonna book it too.
Grimbles follows. Ah!
Loudness, you be the first one to hit outside.
Mhm.
As you get to the top of the stairs, or at the top of this piece, and like you hit outside, the three robed figures are just waiting there.
Oh no!
One's
I give. Okay.
it's still doing the thurible.
Yep.
And now that you're staring right at them, you can see that it's these like malformed elves with like, milky eyes and
So kind of like. Oh, sorry.
I still have the brazier on me, and I just chuck it at one of them.
Okay.
Right ahead.
give me a blaze roll.
Okay. I got a 5.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Roll for effect.
I got a 2.
I'm just envisioning these worshippers are kind of like the worshippers of the fish worshippers of Dagon from
Oh
Ultimate,
yeah.
but with like elves and spiders.
Spider elf.
Yeah.
Spider elf Dagonites. Yeah, that's if Elric was a misshapen spider creature. That's what's in my head.
I run past Grimble and I toss their robe back to them. I said, I kind of need my fear right now, and I toss the robe back to you.
Grimble, as they're running, just like now under the bush, wraps it around their torso. So basically, he's kind of running. He's going commando under that bush
Yep.
at this point.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
So you threw the urn at one of the cultists. That cultist it was like ugh, and then it
He's like,
they begin to advance towards you.
oh.
Just like try to skirt.
You try to get by them?
I try to stop in my tracks. Like I'm just like going, hoping that like the urn would do something. It didn't, and I'm just trying to like slow up.
Are you trying to stop? Or are you trying to get by them?
I think I'm gonna try to get by. Try to juke him out. I think that's his background.
Give me a boots roll.
Oh please, a roll to break those ankles. I got a 1 and a 6. Sorry, it's because I rolled twice because he's speedy, right? Or
Because you're
am I?
fast. Yeah.
Okay, so I got 1 and a 6.
The 6 is still okay. Well, actually, it's not.
Okay.
Because we would have just added a darkness because we started an encounter. So we're at 4. So it's not an automatic success, but it's okay because the 1 getting away from guys is what you do. So
Yeah.
So you run to the side. Do you go to the right or the left?
I'm gonna go. Whew, I must think that's the question. He's been picking left all night, so he's gonna stick with left. Going hasn't failed him yet.
So you're gonna go. So you go left, and you're going left around the side, and you see that there are 3 more of these guys that are like down that way, that are like now coming up this way.
Time to climb.
Bella and Grimble.
When Launus threw the urn at those cultists, did they drop the blazer, and is it still lit?
The Thurible, it's still lit. He's holding it. Yeah.
Okay.
The other 2 draw scimitars.
I'm gonna try to get. Grimble's gonna try to flip the fallen blazer Thurible towards the robes of the cult worship.
No, he's still
he's
holding
still holding it. Okay.
Yeah, it's on a chain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called a Thurible. It's a brazier on the end of a chain so that you can put incense around.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or swing it like a mace in this case. Which is what he's going to do in a second.
Could Grimble like curse the fire on the blaze, basically to enchant it so it does that like increase the flames really quick to engulf them in flames using the yeah.
Spend a star for that.
Yep, I'm gonna do that.
Roll effect.
All right. Do I roll 1d4 or 2d4 for that?
You're just gonna roll a d4.
Okay. That is, I got a 2.
2. All right. There's a explosion of fire, and they all seem singed by it.
All right.
You've definitely damaged them.
Yes!
The center with the Thurible has now been hit with an urn and lit on fire. Their reaction, though, to the fire is not one of, like, they're not giving you a whole lot of, like, people emotion.
They're very stoic about their burning.
Like, I wouldn't say that they're, like, zombies, but they're definitely, they feel controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Pawns. Puppeted.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Bella?
So I see Loudness because he said he was going to climb. I'm gonna climb, and then I'm gonna try and wedge myself between.
There are 3. The 3 cultists are in front of you.
Oh, in front? Yeah, but I can go up. I just came out a door.
Oh yeah. I guess
I want to go up the ziggurat, kind of where we came down from.
Yeah.
I want to wedge myself between myself and the statue and put my feet, and I'm going to try to fell the statue like Jones did with the giant the Ra as he and try to push it onto the cultists in the path, like tip it over.
Give me a boots roll, and then a bones roll.
Boots and bones and boots and bones and boots and bones and boots and bones. Okay, the boots was a 4, and the bones is a 2. But I am deadly.
You get yourself up there.
Yeah.
And you're trying to push the statue over, but it's not moving. So you got yourself wedged, but the statue isn't moving.
I'm gonna keep working it.
I'll like look in a panic, and I'm like, how to get them all there? And I'm trying to basically like lead a school of fish. So he's going to like hop up there and like do a little dance, try to get their attention.
Are you going up and doing this?
He's going up onto he'll stay. I guess he's about to climb, and then Bella hops up there and he sees what she's about to do. So he'll stay where he is and like do a little dance, and then try to distract as much of them directly below the statue as he can. So he just starts doing things he can't. He starts trying to like ziggurat, like spell ziggurat for them.
Yeah, the other three that are coming around are definitely lured at you because you are making a making a target of yourself.
I push it away at this
Faster and faster.
Give me a Bella. Give me a blades roll as guys with scimitars are trying to hit you.
Okay. While I'm behind the thing, I got a 6.
Yeah, you're the.
I'm up a level and I'm behind this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 6.
Yeah, you. They can't reach you. They don't.
Okay.
They don't.
Ching. Sparking off their own
Good question.
The one with the Thurible though is going after Grimble.
No.
I got a quick question. One of the equipment things that we got in last game was a bag of magical sling stones. Are these stones? Do they explode when they hit, or are they just hit harder because it's magic?
They explode.
Okay,
Sure. That sounds great.
Okay.
The guy with the Thurible is coming at you. Make a blades roll. He's trying to hit you with the.
I got a 2.
So you're gonna take 2 damage. And as it's happening, Loudness and 3 more cultists come around the corner. And Loudness is kind of getting all of the herding the cultists into a knot.
And then I'm like, dude, we need backup. And
Loudness, give me a push.
I got it. And I take out a scroll of undead. I'm hoping there's some race fucking undead around here.
You read the potion of undead control.
Yeah, potion of undead control.
You drink the potion of undead control. And as you do, all of the cultists just stand and look at you and like,
huh? How long does this last? Hey. How long does? Yep, I was right. They're fucking dead. Okay, cool. I was right. Hey guys, I was right. They're fucking dead. Everyone.
Send them down there.
What if I tell them to go home? I don't know.
So send them to that something ritual thing.
Disavow your god. Say you'll never worship him again. Here now. Say fuck that god.
You like as you're like trying to like use this weird sense that you have that that you're in control of them. You're getting this like feedback because it's like you're trying to say things that don't make sense to them. It would be the equivalent of like if you were charming a person and you said jump off this cliff.
Right.
It's like the undead version of won't hurt yourself.
Okay. Everyone go.
So they're all just like they're all kind of like jerkily moving. They all look like their frames missing.
Oh, okay. Now they're doing a weird little dance.
Line them up in a straight line in the path of the statue.
Oh, but what if I told them to go home?
Send them to the ritual, people. It's the rituals.
They are home.
Have them fight the rituals.
Oh, do you guys want to fight? Well, okay. How about this? Half of you stand over there. Oh, under that thing. And maybe
4 of them go stand where you point to them to stand.
Okay, I'll keep this one. You one go up there and go help push. Because you look like you're stronger than me.
One goes and starts to push on the statue. Give me a bones roll, Bella.
That's a 4.
The creature the creature's also pushing, but the statue is not
budging.
Statue is not budging.
Just kidding, you guys. Fun joke. Let's go inside. Follow me.
They all follow you.
Grimble, you said you want to make them fight each other.
No, fight. Have them send them down to the rituals.
Okay, we're gonna go downstairs.
So you come over into the hallway. They come with you, and at the base of the hallway, you see these giant black claws. And this thing that you're in is pretty wide. And so to use a little narrative focus, your controlled cultists go running in and get just tore up by these monstrous claws as you all get onto the next level and then start running up this hallway, and the monster starts to rip through that hallway. And now we flash forward to where we were before, as we've gone up this hall. We've ripped all the things. We've gone up through the skylight, and you're now on top of the ziggurat. You see the 4 pieces, and it sounds like the monster has settled, or stopped coming. That was the last thing that happened right before we flashed backwards. So you're now on top of this ziggurat that filled with primal evil and an ancient monster, and hundreds potentially of elvish spider cultists.
6 hours later.
I know.
After we got out of that,
I know they're already dead, but I just feel like I killed a whole lot of people. That was real. Some of them didn't have eyeballs anymore, but if they did, they would have been flying. And there's a lot more arms that were just flying through the air there.
Yeah, and you saw them getting tore up, and like one of them had an arm that was just a crab claw, and another one had an arm.
It feels like this is how they wanted to go, though. Like they were summoning this thing.
I know, but it's like I can't feel responsible for them. Like not that they're like my pets, but I feel like that's weird. But I feel like it's like we got a kinship going for a second, and then I just fed them to.
That's the potion talking.
Okay.
Better them than us.
You had potion goggles on. You saw them differently.
Oh,
you need some hot sauce and some eggs or something to get that taste out of your brain.
Okay, because I might go home and I might make like 7 little burial mounds, real small ones. We live in the city, just in case.
Are you going to name them as well?
So we're on the top of this. We're on top of this ziggurat with these obelisks, and the hubbub has calmed down inside, but we don't know how to get out of where we are.
Right. The thing was chasing you like up the ziggurat. But when you got it here where there's like where the altar thing, it stopped. It sounded like it stopped moving. I mean,
okay, so can we go down the side of the ziggurat where the door was that we came out of, where the portal was?
Yeah.
Because at least I know that's home. Even though the room is filled with water.
Well, when we peeked out the first time, was there like a path leading to the ziggurat?
So if you think about it, the ziggurat is like tiered.
Yeah.
And then around all 4 sides there were these like flat sides, and you just ran up one of those.
Okay.
And you now know that there's also one to go the same way into the earth, because that was the first one that you went down.
Yep.
So there's at least one shaft into the earth, and then there's 4 shafts go to the top of the ziggurat.
Okay.
And then there's also so now we're on the top of the ziggurat. So if because we exited a door and then walked around a tier of the ziggurat to go into the door that was in the shaft that went down. So if we could surmise which tier to go down, go back into the doorway where the puddle of oil is, and go into it where there was the door with the portal.
Because, yeah, think about it. The construction's like a parking garage.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where you're like, do I go up to go down here? It's like, is this where I go? Because that's how it's like it's all built inside this structure.
Inside, it's a little confusing, but the outside, it's easier to navigate direction.
Yeah, it's easier to navigate because you're just like, I just go to that floor.
Yeah. Grimble has cunning. Could Grimble like figure out navigate their way back to where they came from?
Yeah, you feel that you could find back to that piece.
Well, would we be able to also look and see what the view was and go, oh, that was the view outside the door that we exited first?
Yeah, like so you turn yourself around until you're like looking at what the mountains look like in the distance.
Yeah.
The thing that you couldn't see from when you were at that was the obelisks, because they would have been behind you because they're like coming out of the point on the ziggurat. So if you think about it, it's like the ziggurat with these 4 points. Now that you're thinking and you're trying to structure, looks like the crown on the weird goddess statues.
As we like kind of like peek down there while this guy stops.
In the hole you came out of?
Yeah, it's a little eye down there.
So like you like look down, you don't see anything great. So do you tuck your head down to look down the piece?
Yeah.
Give me a blades roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
Ooh.
4 and a 2.
That's not good.
Okay.
The a 4 would have been a success, but the 2 is a fail and it's at disadvantage. So you take the lesser. A pincered tentacle, an appendage, rips out and grabs hold of you and does 3 hearts of damage.
No! No!
Ouch. I immediately draw a blade to try and cut Loudness free from the pincer.
It's starting to pull Loudness in. So give me a blades roll.
I'm a blades roll?
Yep.
Okay, I am deadly.
Yeah, that would affect damage.
Okay. That is a shit. That's a 3.
Your blade, you cut, but it ricochets off some of the chitinous shell of the claw-like appendage.
Time to use Scroll of Delay to slow this thing down from pulling our friend in.
Loudness. Give me a bones roll.
5.
You're holding yourself. It's pulling you down, but you're holding yourself against the on the lip. It has pulled you down in, but you're like holding on. Grimble, what do you do?
Grimble's gonna like look at the creature claw thing, goes, "You're cursed!" and try to basically curse it, I guess, like to make it like loosen its grip on Loudness, or as it's pulling in, somehow give it misfortune and have it mess up or something somehow like that.
You're gonna spend a star to do that?
Yes.
You curse it with weakness, and the claw like jams, like clicks, and then it like sticks, and Loudness is able to like pull themselves free. but you're like hanging, and more tentacles are now rushing towards you.
So am I back on ground or am I still?
So you're like hanging. You're like hanging into the pit of air, that 10-foot place where you climbed out with the rope.
I'm swinging. I'm trying to get my feet tippy toes on the edge of the.
Yeah, give me a boots roll.
1.
This is something that you could do.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not fall off a rooftop.
Okay.
You get yourself over, and Bella, you saw that the tentacles like literally shied away from the moonlight.
Oh.
Like it wasn't until until Loudness put their head into the piece that it could grab. Like it couldn't enter that shaft.
Got it. All right. I say, like, let's avoid the hole, and let's maybe go down the side, towards the door that we came out of originally.
As you said this, like Spirited Away, Chihiro style, when the step broke, Loudness is digging down the cigarette, like
I say we
going. The second his foot, like he managed to get on the ground, he's gone. He's just going.
Boom.
So Loudness is tearing down the side of on the outside of the flat part. Like you're like running down. It's like and you're going like downhill. So you're just like you're completely booking.
So fast.
I'm doing the same.
Grimble will follow.
Grimble is loping behind as you're all running down the side of the ziggurat, until you get to the floor where you know the doorway back into the portal room is.
Because I marked it with oil. My plan is coming
if the
together.
portal's still there, I'm rolling in.
Yeah.
Popping through it.
Yeah,
Should we stop
like
and
you
clean
jump
up?
down and you recognize the space and you can see where the doors are and where the puddle of oil is on the other side of that portico.
Yeah.
He's gonna run all the way home if you let him, like, and not stop.
He's just down. It jumps over and he keeps running.
Yep.
All right.
I'm following.
As you get to the door, Loudness opens the door and you feel the heat and the dampness, and the room is just filled with steam.
Awesome. My pores are grateful. I'm gonna.
There's a scent of eucalyptus. The spy asks
it's
for.
just, it's just like the lavender. I'm calm.
Beautiful. I love it.
I'm looking towards that archway that had the portal in it.
As you go, the room is like filled with this like steamy fog. The portal looks the same.
Diving through it.
You're just running through the steam, diving for the portal. Loudness goes through the steam, and jumps through the portal, and the strangest thing happens because you're running through it this way, and then you pop out like above, and since you're just running straight, you just like immediately start to fall back in.
Holding on like Mufasa.
Yeah.
Enough here. I'm trying to like kick myself.
So actually, I see Loudness sort of fall back past me. I'm gonna go very slowly through the portal.
Slowly through the portal, and you pull yourself in.
Because I kind of recognize the orientation difference, so I'm gonna like reach around to see if I'm facing the portal this way, I'm reaching through, but trying to like grab the side of the altar.
Yeah, like once you get through, like it's easy to like pull yourself in because there's this weird like sense of like null gravity.
Adjustment.
like
Yeah.
as one place and another place,
Yeah.
try to coalesce
Yeah.
and be in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grimble, what do you do?
Boom.
Before Grimmel goes in, Grimmel's gonna kind of just take a second, just look at the portal, just to see if, because you said that when Loudness went in, he went back out.
Yeah, he fell through it. Like he ran through it, and then it seemed like he was falling out of it, and then got pulled in by Bella, like jumping through.
Yeah.
Okay, Grimmel's gonna kind of study the portal archway, see if anything's like different, or is it malfunctioning or something.
No, it looks pretty normal to you, like all things being equal. As you're spending time there, you see from out on the portico side, the cultists are walking towards you.
I stick my hand in the portal and I do one of these.
Grimble follows.
You pull Grimble through the piece. You are on top of the altar, and there is now a few feet of water in the chamber that you're in.
I'm like midway through waiting, trying to. He is not happy here anymore.
Well, right now you're on top of the altar,
About 20
You
feet
can
above
look
the
down and you
water.
can see there's
Oh,
just a
okay.
few feet of water.
He's like, see, if we had just dug a hole, like that was my suggestion. And guess what? We're right here. Nothing changed. I'm just saying.
What's above us?
The now that you have been inside the ziggurat, you realize that the top of this temple is a shaped like the inside of the ziggurat. It's like kind of weirdly octangular on like a slope, and that there's a big, where you would expect there to be like what maybe was a skylight at some point, but now has been closed over by rock and debris. Because remember, this has been swallowed
Right.
up in the earth and then built
Yeah.
upon
Yeah.
in the style of the catacombs of Paris.
Sure.
Is there a way? Does Grimble know a way to turn off the portal on this side?
Maybe. Give me a books roll. I would say it with disadvantage, but you have lore wise, so that would cancel that out.
All right, I got a 3.
You think that you could close it by putting a lot of power into it
All right. Well.
or blowing it up.
Oh.
Do you have those explosives?
Grimble's gonna look at Bella and Loudness. So Grimble has idea to close portal on this side, but we may require big bada boom.
I pull out my wee box of matches from last time.
I pull out my go rye. I just have it
Grimble pulls
written
out
down.
this bag of magical stones.
This might explode. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Grimble has a bag of magical sting stones that we confirmed does explode.
Yes.
It's a regular old plumbus.
Grimble's gonna grab. So Grimble make bada boom now.
Please.
I'm gonna cannonball into the water.
All right, you cannonball into the water. There's enough water. It's like
You said it's a few feet.
yeah, it's a couple of feet of water, enough to
Slow my
handle a
descent.
cannonball from this height.
Sploosh.
I poke my head up for a quick second just to be like, save some for the door so we can open it because I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to die here.
All right.
Just
That's where
when
the
I
go rye comes in handy.
Grimble's gonna Grimble's gonna take some, not all, but some of the magical sting stones, kind of off at a good distance and then just, you know what? I'm gonna say Grimble has a sling, and just start slinging them at the base of the portal.
Okay. They explode. And there's a shock of light, and just as there's a shock of light, a tentacle comes through, and then it gets cut and explodes. And the altar shakes. And when the altar shakes, it like a big part of it falls into the water, and that shakes the building, and some of the holes crack, and a lot more water starts to come out. And once that starts to happen, it starts to happen very quickly. And now you are, instead of it being hours before this fills, you think it could happen at any moment, that this whole thing could collapse on top of you.
How much more explosives do you have if we could blow a hole in the skylight, and then just let the water fill up, and then we ride it out the hole?
Grimble thinks maybe a half baggy fill.
Do I have any bow and arrow or anything on me?
Yeah, sure.
Yep, I have a bow and arrow. So, oh, you're way up there, aren't you? You're still on the altar, aren't you?
Me?
Grimble.
Rimble.
You know what? Sure.
So
I assume you got off the altar because you were shooting it with a sling.
All right.
So let me see if I can blow a hole while the water's rising through into the skylight to try and clear those rocks to open up that skylight.
Okie doke. And Grimble's gonna gently toss you the bag of magic sling stones.
So would that be a treasure I would spend to have?
That's part of my equipment.
No, because this is a thing that you had gotten from a previous equipment.
I would have had, yeah. Okay,
This is it's effectively a treasure because it's just a treasure that you know what it is already.
That I know what it is already. Okay, so I am quickly, as the water's rising up around me, I'm trying to keep the explosives are magical, right?
Yeah, they're just
they don't have
like
to be dry.
rocks.
They don't have to be dry. So I'm fashioning it to my arrow, and then I'm gonna knock that arrow back and take a bead on that skylight, and then let the arrow fly.
Give me a blade throw.
Yep. So I'm gonna do that again as the arrow comes back. I try to catch the arrow before it hits anything because the first did not succeed.
You shoot. You miss the skylight, but it hits a part of the wall, the ceiling, and it explodes. And rocks start to fall. Right. Everyone make a boots roll.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. I got a 1.
5.
3.
The 5 and the 3 are good. The 1, I don't think that Loudness is used to falling rocks. So they're gonna he's gonna take a heart of damage from falling debris.
I like how that implies that Bella is used to falling rocks.
No, you just got out of the way.
No, I know.
Grimble's definitely used to falling rocks.
Loudness rolled a 1. It's not like
no, I get it. I just liked your syntax, which was is that Loudness isn't used to it.
If Loudness was, say, a mad alchemist, I would be like, oh yeah, you're totally used to stuff exploding.
Yeah, you get out all the time.
Makes sense.
It's normal.
Totally normal.
He gets like conked around a bit and is just like, yeah, I'm really sick of caves. I'm sick of ziggurats. I'm just letting you know right now. I think I've lost an organ at least. I'm real bad.
In the fullness of time, you are able to use the rising water to get up to the new hole and get out. You've caused massive damage within the city. From multiple explosions and shaking. The tavern, the tavern's completely destroyed. That it's built upon on the top of this. I just
want to point out, I don't think as criminals, I don't think we would give a shit.
The guild covers it all up.
Yeah, we were tasked.
when you were like when you explain like what happened and like you know, you show them the handful of jewels that you did find, and it seemed like that was a really good thing, but we would rather not be attacked by a giant spider god. That seems like an awful
Yeah.
Crab
And-
Thulu.
Yeah. And on their way out, Grimble's also going to steal a jar of pickled eggs from the Broken Tavern. So one more treasure. Pickled eggs.
One more treasure, a true treasure. A jar of pickled eggs. That was super fun. That was that was as old school gets. It was like, let's avoid all combat. Oh, there's nothing we can do. What do we have? Can we make something explode? I super loved it. So let's take a moment. I do like to end a game with you know, what you thought was cool. Like what was a moment or a thing that occurred in the game that was cool. Ania?
Bella having to wear the diaper and then still backing up. She's like definitely the coolest, like the cool girl, but then still like backing up into these elves and all of them just stopping and just looking at her. Her being like, hi.
There's a thing that occurs that is, I think one of the funnest things about story games and role-playing games as opposed to improv and all those things, which is when that story moment happens because of the roll of the dice. You know, it's like you could have just stealthed out of there, that would have happened, but it's like, oh no, that's not that's going to happen.
And no bad rolls, only good story.
You're right. No bad rolls, only good story. That's a great quote.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you were writing that, you know, you might not have thought about that originally, right? It's like, oh no, but that's super fun. I thought that was
Paint yourself into corners. Yeah, I love it. I liked when Loudness drank the potion and started kind of making them do the Thriller dance, essentially. Like, you line up here, you go over here, you help that guy out. That's just like one of those wonderful, oh hey, I have this unique item, how can I apply it to this situation? And then I'm just gonna boss around these acolytes. I love it.
I liked that Loudness then felt responsible for the attacks.
Yeah.
These strange, undead, undying mutant elf creatures,
Nosferatu looking mother. Yeah.
eaten by their own dark deity,
God.
and you
No,
still
look,
are like, hey,
They depended on me.
I feel bad.
Once again.
They sealed their fate with their own religious choices.
I really enjoy. I like when we started the combo, the fastball special with Grimble and Bella. I just, as a combo nerd, I love that. Also, I just love the idea of when Loudness, in my head, Loudness is basically entering so many commands that like in a computer, and the undead were like a computer, and just like got confused.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, wait, what do you want me to do? Wait,
that seems that does not compute. Yeah.
I do like that your first thought for controlling them was, you know, become apostate to your god. Fuck that god.
I'm your god now.
I'm your god. Let's do it.
Reject. Yeah.
I thought all that stuff was great. I do like the fact that Bella's like, I have this scroll. Do you need to use it? This is no. We're just gonna wait. And there's something great and ironic about delaying the use of the scroll of delay. That
maybe that's what the scroll does.
All the scroll does is cause you not to cast it.
It makes you question your current choices.
Do I need this? Should I use this right now?
I'll use it later. Every time the scroll has been around for thousands of years because anytime somebody goes to use it, they say, later.
Maybe next time.
Also, thank you, Grimble, for casting that spell on the spider, because my boy was not gonna make it. I was like, he's at 2 life out of 6.
Yep. I also like that there really was no treasure. We just got into hot water. Like, that was it. We were just kind of sent to our doom, and then we figured out a way out of it.
We might
to no avail.
I think they're trying to get rid of
You know what? The treasure was the adventure itself. Think about it.
I had some ideas for where things could go, but
we didn't look ready.
It just didn't, you know.
I always thought that those gems that we found in the hot water room, those were the gems itself were magic. That was what was heating the water.
Oh,
that's what I thought originally.
I was thinking it was just hot water.
Yeah.
I was just trying to like, you know, be like, if you like, if you had like this temple network, your franchise, as it were.
No.
You know, this was like home office, right? Like, and the point being that you could like transport in. This is where like their sacrifices would come, and you would do all this work, and everything would seem great because you'd be like, "Oh, that's awesome," and then they're like, let's go meet our god," and then like, you know, the moon goes away, and their god crawls out of its hole, and it's like, you know, 100-foot tall crab monster, and you know, you get eaten. But until then,
Crab Thulu, come on.
Honestly, if we had like a third game, I would just try to, and if those gems were like matching in the way that it heated stuff, I would have just tried to figure a way out to create some kind of Rube Goldberg machine to kind of do something with those heated gems.
I played some old school games with some Rube Goldbergs, some dudes that were always like, "I'm gonna hire 12 dwarves to dig a hole here," and you'd be like, "Wow, can't we just go kill a skeleton?" But this was great fun. Thank you all so much for playing with me. Thank you to Ryan Omega behind the scenes, controlling the pieces and keeping us going here on Life Action Roleplay. And let's do a little round table and let everybody know where they can find you and what you are up to on the internet, starting with Ania.
Hi, I'm Anaya Monet. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me. I always have so much fun playing with this system. And you can find me on TikTok at Babylon, BAEBALON. You can also listen to my podcast, Season of the Funk. If you just love hearing my voice, I am the DM and creator of that podcast. I was like, what am I doing the same thing? We're gonna roll with it. If you like 70s, the undead, an apocalypse that maybe happened, and all of that squashed into a D&D game that we're trying to break, check it out. And then I also am a narrative designer for Tender Claws Games. We have an interesting project coming up that I still can't say what it is, but I'm a co-lead narrative designer and writer on that, which is the promotion I got recently. So check that out and stay tuned with them, because I wrote some stuff for them.
Into it. I like the 70s and apocalypses that maybe never were.
Yeah, check it out. We have a lot of fun recording it.
Todd.
Yeah. So 12 Monkeys on Hulu. You can watch that if you're into shows about pandemics. And time travel and cults. So yeah, there's a whole lot of fun. And then you can go to thenerdcircus.com, grab Mystic Libations if you want to spice up your next tabletop game with a nerdy themed cocktail. There's definitely one in there that will match your current campaign. Nerdcircus.com, you can get Mystic Libations. And then on the 16th, I will be sitting in with Black Dice Society, doing their Strahd campaign, playing Van Richten. So go watch that. You can find me at Todd Stashwick on the Twitter and T Stashwick on the Instagram.
Michael.
Well, I am Michael Powell, aka Mr. Kapow. You can find me all over the internet on my social media, which is usually at Mr. Kapow. That's MRKAPAO or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/MichaelPow.stuff, because I do a lot of stuff like my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure. And also, I also recently got a Tumblr, so I think I'm gonna do something different with my Tumblr, like maybe post up the character sheet of Grimble there, and see what else. Also, every Thursday I'm on the, let's see, what is it, Toyzilla Network channel for Toyzilla Live, where we talk about toys and collectibles. And also during let's see, July 1st, I believe, which is a Friday, I will be at Anime Expo for a panel at 6 p.m. and where we're gonna do a little game show thing called the Toyzilla Prize Check Challenge. So there are going to be prizes there. And also every other Friday I will be on let's see, what is Johananon channel, where we play Modern Age, where it's basically a reimagining of Mighty Max with me as Max, who is a pizza delivery guy going to different dimensions, and right now we're stuck in hell.
That
Yeah.
checks out.
Yeah, so
Checks out.
hope to see you there.
Awesome. I am Chris O'Neill from Ninth Level Games, and we make mazes. Mazes is literally the hardcovers are in a truck. They're going out. So Kickstarters are going to be delivered. It'll be hitting store shelves at some point in the very, very near future. Right now on Kickstarter, we have Return to Dark Tower, which is our next game. It's completely compatible with mazes, but it's an epic. Instead of playing street level sword and sorcerer characters, you're playing epic characters that need to build up an army and go siege the tower and destroy the adversary as we return to Dark Tower, based on the board game from Restoration Games. If you back it within the first 48 hours, which we are just past, a little bit past the day mark, you get a free zine that is the demake rules. So we pretended what would the game look like if it came out in 1981 and if it was made about the original game. And it's this tiny, old school piece. Super fun. So that's a giveaway for people to back in the first 48 hours. In addition to that, Ninth Level Games will be at all of the major conventions this summer, starting with Origins, which is literally next week. So this time next week, we will be in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. And we will be running a lot of Mazes games and Excellence games and Rebel Scum games and the Very Good Dogs of Chernobyl. And we have, of course, our old friend, Kobolds Ate My Baby. There's a lot of Kobolds Ate My Baby games. The Midnight Massacre, an annual event at Origins. And this year, a new event, which is called Mazes Till Midnight, we're going to play with some black lights, roll some dice, and super fun. And thank you for joining us again for here in this Maze campaign. Thank all three of you for being wonderful characters, for developing some great story with me. This was super fun. Loved it. Anytime you guys want to play, I am down to play.
Woohoo!
And once again, thanks to Ryan Omega and the team at Life Action Roleplay.
Bye.
You're scarce.
I never know how to do the heart.